Hello everyone, this is 99 Blades. My name is Alberto, and it's time I do a longer video. And I think a great way to start is how I got into knives. And it all starts with this Humble Guidesman. I got this when I was 6 years old. We were at a Menards. This is the Menards brand. And we had picked up some supplies for a project. I was with my dad, and it was displayed, something like this on the end cap by the candies, where you're at the checkout. And I was like, Dad, I want this. I want this. So he got it for me. He's like, well, you got to be able to help me around the house, right? I was so ecstatic. Ripped it open in the parking lot. It's got a belt loop. So put it on immediately and did exactly what every young boy does with a knife. Whittled sticks to make little spears, played with RC cars and used the screwdriver, just messing around in all sorts of ways. Um, Surprisingly, I think maybe I never cut myself, or at least never bad enough that I remember. A little bit of rust, a little bit of paint, but all in all, I'm surprised it held up all these years. I found it recently after going through some of my old stuff. And funny story, the saw here I treated as a bread knife. So for sandwiches, I would kind of mutilate them because I was like, it's clearly a bread knife. Um, and I use this 6 to 10 years old. And I believe maybe around 10 to 12, I was given a gift by a family friend who saw that I really love this thing. Every time they saw me, I had this on me in my pocket or clipped somewhere. So they gave me this, was a Sam's Club 2-pack with the Leatherman Rev and the Leatherman Crater. And the Rev at the time was too heavy and too big. So I really just used um, the little pry bar flathead and the bigger screwdriver for Nerf guns and other things that I just needed a bigger Phillips than what this one had. And these kind of just lived in my drawer. And then I use the knife on occasion, so it's actually still in really good. Yeah, it's still got a nice edge. Really just tape on boxes. This one kind of lived on top of my desk, and the edges more blunted and chipped in a few places. But this is very interesting. As you're probably noticing, it has two pivots. So you have the blade pivot and you have the carabiner pivot. Um, I never used the pocket clip. I carried it like that on a belt. Don't ask me why. That's what young me thought was cool because I had been carrying this on my belt. So that's how that happened. This is a very terrible knife. Uh, you got pennies for washers, and you got pretty much 100% lockup. And the lock bar has this weird tab here. Not sure what it is. And the coolest thing, the detent ball is stamped. So I'm pretty sure it's just pressed in with the detent. And as such, yeah, it's great. Um, Young me didn't know that, and I use this quite frequently. Um, Nothing crazy, just in my room, opening stuff. Uh, Never really prying, actually, even though no one ever told me to, just because I was defaulted to using this thing. Um, but yeah, these are the knives of my childhood, um, and they lasted pretty much till I was about 19, 20. I was in college, I was working a job, um, and I wanted something a little nicer. I carried this in my backpack, just kind of kept it lying in there, and then a little Swiss Army knife that I had found. I don't know where it is. I'll probably find it at some moment. But after research, I bought myself this, a Benchmade Mini Crooked Ripper. So this is the first knife I ever bought myself. So this is kind of like my first real knife. Um, this one's an S30V. It's from their Hunt series, so it has wood, aluminum, the orange accents. I loved this thing. I think it looks fantastic. It's so comfortable. I think it's one of Benchmade's best designs in terms of aesthetics. I think it's fantastic. And I carried this about 3 months, I would say, exclusively, just every single day. I was so happy with it. And some of my coworkers and we were teaching assistants, and we received some cables. We were just re-rigging something in our teaching room, and the cables were zip tied. And I had opened something with this knife, and my friend next to me was like, "Oh, can I borrow that for the zip ties?" He puts the tip and bam, pops it, and I was like, "Oh no, I don't want the tip to break. It's so beautiful." So that night I was researching, other knives because, well, I had been bit by the bug at that point. So I did the reasonable thing and I bought another knife with an even daintier tip. This is an Artisan Cutlery Arroyo with micarta and the AR RPM 9. I wanted something different, so this is the Axis lock with thumb studs, and I wanted a flipper tab just because I thought, oh, that's something different, something new with a liner lock. It's pretty well made. But yeah, the tip is even more dainty and breakable than the Benchmade's is. So 2 days after I bought this, I bought another knife. So at this point, we're 3.5 months in, and I'm already 3 knives in. So that's great. Um, no idea what M390 was or S30. I heard that this was kind of like just a gold standard of like good. Googled what the heck is M390. It was pretty good. So I picked this up at REI. This one was on Amazon. And REI kind of gives you rewards points. So I came back and I was like, I think I should get a bug out, something a little bit more neutral, less, swoopy tip going on, and that I'd feel a little safer using as kind of an everyday type knife. So came in there expecting to get the standard bug out, and, the reputation, I hated the scales. The flex just drove me mad. Like, if I squeezed it, I felt it. Saw this one and I loved how these look, and I still do. I think these are really awesome scales. In my opinion, this is the best bug out they've made, unless you customize it with your own parts. The red standoffs, the silver aluminum with this stonewash starburst, the black coated blade. I just thought this looked amazing, and this was pretty much my EDC for 2 years at that point. So I was quite content with this sphere. So I kept this in my backpack for just little stuff, carried this. This one was more if I was feeling fancy, because still I think was kind of like my dress up, kind of nicer carry knife. And I think that stems from the fact that it's just got these wood scales. Something in my brain's like wood, and it's nice, it's gentlemanly. And this one became my EDC. I've actually sharpened this about 2-3 times, somewhere in between there, and the springs broke, actually. So this, I bought replacement springs on Etsy, and they are quite nice. Maybe a little bit stronger detent than factory, but not noticeable. No blade play, no up and down wiggle, so I'm still happy with that. Yeah, so this is kind of where it started, from 6 till I was an adult, and it's gone to Balisongs and USA made titanium frame locks and all that good stuff. So thinking probably next I'm gonna do a full collection video, just to kind of document where everything has gone, showcase what I like and don't like, and any stories associated with the knives I've picked up. Probably going to be downsizing the collection a bit because it has gotten a little bit out of hand. But yeah, these are my cherished beginnings. These are the knives I first picked out when I was learning about them. And yeah, this is kind of diving in on the deep end with, Benchmade and some nicer stuff. But I've enjoyed all of these. I still carry these two. Not really this one too much, but I still carry the Mini Crooked River and the Bug Out. And then these have kind of been relegated to just mementos and memories, especially this one. I'm quite lucky to have found it. I misplaced it for maybe 3-4 years, but I was able to find it when cleaning out some stuff. So this one's kind of just a little memento trophy as my very first little cutting tool that I had growing up. And yeah, if you kind of liked hearing about how I got into knives and this crazy uh, hobby and community, yeah, please hit the like button and feel free to subscribe and keep your eyes out for the full collection video and then individual reviews on all of these and other ones and some of the ones that I've done in my shorts as well. I'm gonna eventually get through them all, but thank you so much for watching and have a great rest of your day.